Right now, someone might be watching what you buy, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you're trying to protect your family. What if preparing for emergencies could put you on a government watch list? Today, we're revealing 11 specific items and behaviors that trigger surveillance and reporting. This isn't about paranoia. It's about making informed decisions. You'll learn how to prep strategically without compromising your privacy. And the final item on this list isn't even a physical object. It's something you're probably doing right now. Welcome to the Smart Pantry, where we help you make smart decisions about food security and preparedness. Hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss these critical strategies. Let's dive into the reality of modern preparedness. Governments want you to be prepared, but not too prepared. They encourage emergency supplies so you won't drain resources during a crisis. But they don't want you so self-sufficient that you can operate independently. There's an invisible line, and certain purchases push you across it. Preparedness used to be fringe, but natural disasters, economic instability, and global uncertainty have changed that. Emergency readiness is now mainstream. And as preparedness becomes more common, so does the monitoring infrastructure. The monitoring systems are real. Regulations exist. Reporting requirements are mandatory for certain purchases. Surveillance databases are connected and constantly updated. This isn't conspiracy, it's documented policy. Every purchase, especially online or with a credit card, creates data. That data goes into databases. Those databases communicate. Algorithms analyze patterns, looking for combinations that fit certain profiles. One purchase might be unremarkable. Two might be coincidence. But 10, that builds a picture. Most preppers know ammunition purchases are monitored, but they don't realize bulk seeds, industrial water filters, and ham radios are logged too. When those purchases happen from the same person within the same time frame, algorithms flag it. You want enhanced capability, the ability to protect your family no matter what, but enhanced capability often comes with increased visibility. Some items are worth that trade-off. Others might not be. The key is making conscious decisions with full awareness. This isn't about scaring you away from preparedness. It's about giving you information to be strategic. Let's get into the 11 items that can land you on the prepper blacklist. First, night vision and thermal optics. These devices represent a massive tactical advantage. Equipment like PVS-14 monoculars and high-end thermal scopes let you operate effectively in complete darkness or identify heat signatures through walls. They're regulated under ITAR, International Traffic in Arms Regulations. They're classified as defense articles. Sellers must verify your citizenship, and every transaction is logged and reported to federal agencies. Owning night vision is legal. But possessing this technology signals to agencies that you have capabilities traditionally reserved for military and law enforcement. The ability to operate in low-light conditions is a force multiplier. That makes you stand out in surveillance databases. The trade-off is clear: enhanced capability, but increased visibility. Next, high-capacity fuel storage. We're talking about 55-gallon drums, 250-gallon tanks, or larger. This represents energy independence. With enough fuel, you can run generators, vehicles, and farm equipment when everyone else can't. But large fuel purchases and tank installations require permits. They involve fire marshal inspections. They trigger hazmat and environmental regulations. Every one creates a paper trail leading to you. During declared emergencies, legal frameworks exist allowing requisition or seizure of critical resources. That includes fuel. Your preparation can paint a target on you for resource collection. Advanced medical supplies. A basic first aid kit doesn't raise eyebrows, but bulk purchases of prescription antibiotics, surgical kits, trauma supplies, and professional medical equipment, that's different. Algorithms monitor purchasing behavior for anomalies. Why would a civilian need supplies for treating multiple casualties? Why stockpile antibiotics requiring prescriptions? Why have equipment for emergency procedures? These purchases suggest you're preparing for mass casualty events or operating outside the regulated healthcare infrastructure, making you interesting to certain agencies. Secure communication equipment. Standard ham radios are one thing, but encrypted radios, military-grade systems, and sophisticated ham setups with digital encryption, those create what authorities view as a black hole in their surveillance grid. In emergencies, cell networks fail. Government agencies become the primary information source. They control the narrative. But private encrypted communication networks let you operate outside that control. You can verify information independently and coordinate without oversight. Sales of advanced communication equipment are tracked. Online forums discussing these systems are monitored. Independence in communication is powerful, which is exactly why it grabs attention. Large-scale water purification systems. Personal filters like LifeStraw, common. But industrial-scale systems, capable of purifying hundreds or thousands of gallons per day, that's different. That capacity means you can support more than your household. You can provide clean water for a community. After disasters, clean water becomes the most precious resource. These systems are viewed as critical infrastructure, which means they can be commandeered or seized under emergency management law.
Purchasing industrial filtration equipment signals you can support a larger group and operate independently of municipal water systems. Body armor and tactical gear. Body armor is defensive equipment, but purchases of ceramic plates, steel plates, and plate carriers are tracked like firearms purchases. These databases communicate. If you've purchased body armor, night vision, bulk ammunition, and secure radios, your profile escalates significantly. Body armor represents a mindset, the belief that threats may require ballistic protection. This makes authorities nervous because it suggests you're preparing for armed confrontations. Laws vary by state, and the trend is toward more restriction and monitoring. Bulk ammunition and reloading supplies. Most preppers know bulk ammunition purchases are tracked, but the scope is underestimated. Every case you buy, especially with a credit card, is logged. Financial institutions file suspicious activity reports for unusual patterns. Algorithms build profiles based on recurring bulk purchases. But reloading supplies are also monitored. Primers, powder, bullets, brass, these represent ammunition independence. If you can reload your own ammunition, you're not dependent on manufacturers or retail supply. You've closed the loop. That's why efforts to restrict reloading components are increasing. These supplies enable continued capability even when traditional ammunition becomes scarce or regulated. Drones and surveillance equipment. Consumer drones offer situational awareness. You can scout your property, check roads, identify threats, and maintain awareness from a distance. But drones are heavily regulated. You must register with the FAA. Remote ID requirements mean your drone broadcasts its location and your information while flying. Manufacturers log flight data. During emergencies, civilian drone operations can be grounded. The official reason is responder safety or national security. But the underlying motive is information control. Drones provide unfiltered truth. You gain situational awareness but expose yourself to surveillance. Bulk seeds and small-scale farming equipment. Seeds seem innocent, right? But bulk purchases and farming equipment signal food independence. Throughout history, controlling food has meant controlling people. Large orders of grain seeds, heirloom seed collections, tractors, tillers, and canning supplies indicate capability to produce food outside the industrial agricultural system. In normal times, this is homesteading. In crisis, it can be viewed as building parallel infrastructure. Historical precedent exists. Governments have nationalized agricultural production or seized crops during emergencies. The legal framework still exists. Seed purchases aren't tracked as heavily as firearms, but records of large agricultural purchases exist, especially involving equipment or bulk orders from commercial suppliers. Precious metals, gold and silver. Physical gold and silver represent tangible wealth independent of the financial system. You have real, physical value you control completely. But large purchases trigger reporting requirements. Anti-money laundering laws mean significant transactions must be reported. Dealers file forms when you buy above certain thresholds. Historical precedent exists for confiscation. In 1933, Executive Order 6102 required Americans to turn in their gold. That order was eventually repealed, but the legal framework still exists. In a serious financial crisis, capital controls could be implemented overnight. Physical precious metals could be declared contraband or subject to forced redemption. The more you've bought through traceable channels, the more visible you become. The final item is different. It's not physical, it's information itself. The books you buy about preparedness, the websites you visit, the videos you watch, including this one, the forums you participate in, all of it creates a profile. Surveillance isn't just about what you own, it's about what you think, what you're learning, and what you're interested in. Every click online is logged, every purchase is recorded, every download is tracked, every comment on preparedness forums is archived. This is the deepest level because it's about your mindset and associations. You might not own a single item from the previous categories, but if you're researching all of them and accumulating knowledge, you're building a profile just as surely. Some people think, I just won't engage with preparedness content. That's self-censorship born from fear. If fear stops you from learning what you need to protect your family, then surveillance has already won. The decision to engage with preparedness content is personal, but it should be made consciously understanding the trade-offs. Now you know the 11 items: night vision, fuel storage, medical supplies, secure communications, water purification, body armor, ammunition, drones, seeds, precious metals, and information. Individually, each makes sense. Together, they build a profile that is watched, analyzed, and stored. Let's talk about what you can do with this information. The military has a concept called operational security, or OPSEC. It's about protecting information that could be used against you. This applies perfectly to preparedness. The goal isn't complete invisibility, that's probably impossible. The goal is to be capable, resilient, and smart. Keep your capabilities private. Don't advertise stockpiles on social media. Don't post pictures of gear. Don't brag to neighbors. Every person who knows what you have is a potential security risk. Buy strategically. Cash transactions create less of a digital trail than credit cards. Smaller purchases over time are less visible than bulk orders. If you need 1,000 rounds of ammunition, buying 50 rounds monthly for 20 months creates a different profile than buying all 1,000 at once. Diversify your vendors.
Don't put all purchases through one platform or store. Spread things across multiple vendors, online and in person. Make profiling harder. Prioritize skills and knowledge over gear. Skills can't be confiscated. Knowledge can't be seized. The ability to improvise, adapt, and solve problems is infinitely more valuable than any equipment. Learn medical skills. Learn to grow food. Learn to purify water with improvised methods. These skills make you genuinely capable without creating the same profile. Some items on this list might be critical to your plans. Others might not be worth the trade-off. The key is making conscious decisions where you understand both benefits and risks. Assess your actual needs. Not every prepper needs every item. What threats are you preparing for? What's realistic for your location? What matches your skill level? Tailor purchases to your situation. Understand the trade-offs. Enhanced capability usually comes with increased visibility. Decide what level of exposure is acceptable. Maybe night vision is worth it because you live rurally and security is primary. Or maybe it's not worth it in a suburban neighborhood. Avoid ego-driven purchases. Don't sacrifice operational security for social media validation or bragging rights. Real preparedness is quiet, unglamorous, and often invisible. Before investing thousands in advanced gear that might flag you, start with the foundation: food security. A well-stocked pantry of basic foods doesn't create the same profile as tactical equipment, but addresses the most fundamental need in any emergency. You can build a 90-day food supply with simple staples: rice, beans, pasta, canned goods, flour, sugar, salt, oil. These items are unremarkable. Nobody flags you for buying extra groceries. But having 3 months of food security means you're not desperate, not competing for limited resources, and not dependent on supply chains. Once food security is established, consider other aspects with greater confidence and strategic awareness. Surveillance and monitoring have expanded dramatically and won't decrease. Databases are more connected, algorithms are smarter, computing power is cheaper. The trend is toward more oversight, not less. Items unremarkable a decade ago now matter. This environment requires preppers to be smarter, more strategic, and more thoughtful. But this reality shouldn't discourage preparedness. It should motivate you to be more strategic. Taking responsibility for your family's safety, building resilience, and developing self-reliance are noble goals. Stay informed. Knowledge is power. Understand the regulations and reporting requirements. Don't operate on assumptions. Know the facts. Act decisively. Don't let fear paralyze you. Make decisions based on facts and risk assessment, not speculation or paranoia. Focus on capability. The best preppers aren't those with the most expensive gear or largest stockpiles. They're those who can think strategically, adapt to circumstances, and solve problems with available resources. The 11 items on the prepper blacklist each make sense individually. Together, they create a profile that is watched and analyzed. This is not a call to abandon preparedness. It's a reminder to operate with awareness and intention. Strategic prepping means balancing capability with privacy, resilience with discretion. The most effective preppers prioritize skills over gear, intelligence over equipment, and operational security over ego. They prep quietly, consistently, and strategically, without advertising or creating unnecessary attention. As you continue your preparedness journey, remember, the goal is not invisibility. The goal is capability. Be capable of taking care of yourself and your family. Be resilient enough to handle disruptions. Be smart enough to operate with awareness. Don't let surveillance concerns stop you from doing what's necessary. Just do it with eyes wide open, making conscious choices about what's worth the trade-off. If you found this valuable, hit that like button. If you're serious about preparedness, starting with food security is the smartest move. That's what we focus on here at the Smart Pantry: practical strategies for building real food security. Subscribe so you don't miss our future videos on preparedness strategies, food storage, and building resilience the smart way. Stay safe, stay smart, and stay prepared. We'll see you in the next one.